Well, we are now joined by a railway expert, Andrew Miles, who writes for Modern Railways magazines. Tony, thank you for joining. Tony Miles, thank you for joining us this evening. What can you tell us about the type of train that was involved in this accident and this morning, and what its safety record is?
The train being used is fairly new to ScotRail, but it's been in use in the UK for over 40 years. The high-speed trains were built in the mid-1970s and into the 1980s, and they've been running long-distance services. And as they've been retired, ScotRail and a couple of other operators have taken them over and created shorter trains using the vehicles, which have a really good performance record, very comfortable. And in Scotland, they've been called the Inter-7 City trains, and they're being used to link the 7 major cities in Scotland. Very comfortable, very reliable, but obviously to a design that's quite a few years old now. And I suppose that's one of the things that investigators will be looking at as they examine what's happened.
How robust are the passenger carriages and the engine?
The carriages actually are very robust, and sadly, many years ago there were a couple of incidents down in the West Country where there were collisions, and people were very impressed at how well the vehicles stood up. I guess one of the challenges might be the driver's cabs on the power cars, because they're not built to the very latest safety standards. If you compare what happened to this train with what happened to the Pendolino train, much more modern one that derailed in the Lake District in 2007, where the driver was able to almost walk away from the incident, even though it was even more severe than this one. There might be some questions to look at, but there are trains of a similar age in use across Europe. And it's all to do with the safety of the system. I suspect more people will be looking at the safety of the embankments and how changing weather patterns are affecting the infrastructure of the network.
Tony, very briefly, how long do you think it will be before we get some answers?
Full investigations tend to take up to a year or more, because they'll want to be very careful to make sure they've reached the right conclusions. But there might be some very quick lessons learned from this that will come out very quickly, if particularly there is advice to Network Rail as to how to monitor some of its infrastructure in severe weather conditions. So it depends whether they feel there's anything we need to learn from this very quickly.